No kidding.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay.
smokes.
Oh, everybody, we're on.
So that's it, yeah. Pitch your Smurf again.
Mm-hmm. That's what they call it, Smurf?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Mike,
messed up.
or Tim, if you can just come in a little closer, so we'll get you in the frame.
That is messed up.
Yeah, there you go. Good, good.
Can't pick your nose now, you're on.
Is that Tom up high enough for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Got that ready. We're on. We're in. Tom's in there. Everything's cool. We're going to start up.
Yeah, let's talk to Tom about this weather.
Yeah, really.
But not for too long.
Recorded live.
Hello, this is Garden City Mayor Randy Walker, and you're listening to Garden City Community Chat. Now here's your host, Kerry Parton.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Kerry, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Doppler Tom and Derek Parton. This show is dedicated to you, the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding communities. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. Well, hello, everybody. It's Thursday, November 20th, 2014. You're listening to show number 224. I'm your host, Kerry, and tonight joining me is Representative David Knezek. How you doing, David?
Very well, Kerry. Thank you.
Filling in for Richard. Richard is he's at a Habitat for Humanity dinner.
He's doing important people stuff.
Yeah, big shot. And also joining us is former Councilman Mike Jones. How you doing, Mike?
Oh, great, Kerry.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on, Mike?
Yeah, my mic's on.
Okay, sounds good. And also our resident weatherman, Doppler Tom. And yeah, we have a bone to pick with you, Tom.
Oh, this time of year, everybody has a bone to pick with me.
Yeah, everybody beats up the weatherman, right?
Always.
All right, welcome everybody in the chat room, and to those that are watching us on our YouTube channel, thank you. And if you're downloading the show for later, thanks for listening, and we appreciate your support. Tonight we have another great show for you. Joining us will be Mr. Tim Fredenburg. He is the owner of the Garage Training Facility right here in Garden City. Tim has had quite a few accomplishments in his life so far, and we'll be discussing those accomplishments as well as his unique training facility in just a few minutes. And also on tonight on the Let It Fly segment, we're going to have State Representative and Senator-elect David Knezek, and we'll be discussing several issues, including the recent tax bill, right, David?
Yes, sir.
Among other things.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah, everybody's just chomping at the bit. Tom's going to be here to let us know when we might get a break from this very cold and snowy weather. Joy and Holly have some more winter gardening tips. We got some community events and much more, so we hope you'll stick around for the next 60 minutes or so and join our conversation via our chat room at talkshoe.com/TC/82757. Just click on the large join in button, sign in as a guest, and you're good to go. Type your questions or comments at the bottom of the page, and our phone number and show ID is there as well. You can also call us right now live at 1-724-444-7444. Enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign. And you can always text your questions and comments right now at 724-788-9319. So sit back, grab your favorite beverage, we have, and we hope you enjoy the show. Now let me mention, once you're at our main show page, you'll also be able to download and listen to all 224 of our shows at your convenience whenever and wherever you want. We are also in iTunes. Just search for GC Community Chat. And don't forget, we're doing a video recording of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that video will be available later on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Community Chat Show. Sorry, I got a brain fart there for a minute. All right, let's get the latest weather with Tom, and then we'll check in with Joy and Holly. All right. Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away. Tommy. What the heck is going on?
What calendar month are we in? This week it felt like we were in January, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Weather went down too. 3 inches of snow on the ground, and along with that, we did see the cold temperatures. Right now, we're in the low 20s. And we did see some lake effect bands move through throughout the day, but those are now winding down, and those skies are clearing. And unfortunately, with those clearing skies, those temperatures are also going to fall, and we're probably going to get into the low teens tonight. And those wind chills will probably, again, be below 0. So if you're going to be out and about this evening and overnight, you definitely need to layer up out there because it's going to be another cold night out there. And as we get into Friday, we'll see some good news. We'll actually see no more snow. We'll probably see a little bit of sunshine out there. We'll probably see, unfortunately, the cold temperatures will remain, though. We'll probably be in the mid-20s for high temperatures. So we're again being below freezing. We've got below freezing all week, so it's been a rough week out there. And as we get into the weekend, we're going to get into another storm system out there. But Saturday morning is the critical time before temperatures rise above freezing because the system will actually bring in some milder air. But Saturday morning is the time frame to watch because we could see a little bit of a wintry mix before it changes over to rain. So if you have any plans Saturday morning, make sure you stay tuned to the weather and watch the roads out there because it could be a little slick. But fortunately, it's going to warm up, and that will quickly change over into all rain, so that's some good news. We'll actually see rain with this next storm system, the majority of it. And we'll probably see a little bit of melting as well. Most of that snow will probably melt as we get into the weekend. As we head into Sunday, we'll probably again see more rain continuing in those temperatures. We'll probably be in the
44 degrees and rain on Saturday. Come on.
And as we get into
Whoopie-dee.
again, the rain will continue on and all throughout the day. Temperatures will be around 50 degrees for
If it
high.
wasn't painful enough watching
That's some great
Michigan
news,
play.
but you know the saying, all good things must come to an end, and it's not going to be a very long warm-up. It'll probably be a pretty not going to be a comfortable one. We'll probably see similar temperatures like we had this week. As we get to Monday, as I said, that temperatures will be around 50 with some on and off rain, but as we get to Tuesday behind the system, we can see some wraparound moisture, and we could see some more snow out there. Temperatures will probably go into the 30s for high temperatures. And then as we get into Wednesday, we'll be drying out, so that's some good news for holiday travel plans. We'll probably be in just above freezing in the low 30s. But as we get into Thanksgiving and into Friday, we're going to be watching another storm system. Right now, the details are very sketchy because the computer models are going back and forth, so you have to stay tuned to see what happens. But it could be on the cold side, so we could see some snow. We could even see a little bit of a wintry mix, or we could even see rain. It depends on how that storm system moves. So early in the week, it should be all right for holiday travel, but as we get to the end of the week, it should start to get a little bit on the dicey side with the weather. So if you want to travel, the best days to travel next week are probably Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you have any holiday travel plans, those are the days to go if you have anywhere to go. And then pretty much the weather all this week has been cold, snow, and I know not a whole lot of people have liked it, but hey, let's just say that we're not in Buffalo. That's some good news because you probably
I'm going out of
on the
town for
news.
holidays.
They have been dealing just south of town.
Well, December
Lake
27th,
Spec band that's
2
set
weeks
up.
in Hawaii. Is that
It was a
enough?
perfect recipe for that Lake Spec band to set up with the prevailing winds going right over the lake that are relatively warm compared to
I hope you have lots of nice snow while we're
that
gone.
band did not move for a good 24 to 36 hours. They've seen a good, probably up to 5 feet of snow out there, and they're seeing again more snow tonight, and it's going to start gradually weakening as we head into the overnight hours. So that's good, and then it will finally stop. But excuse me, there's so much snow that it's causing the traffic, a lot of traffic problems. Unfortunately, the death toll is now up to 10 with this lake effect event because people need to think that you go out in this storm, you could shovel it, and that's a lot of snow to shovel. People are having heart attacks, and it's a lot of wind, so they're dealing with a lot of problems out there. It's just worth mentioning on the show tonight. And it's going to take a while, but unfortunately, more problems are going to start to arise because they're going to see, again, that warming like we are into the weekend, and that's going to cause some flooding concerns and some structural problems because the weight of the snow is going to increase on those roofs, and we could even see a lot of problems out there. So they're going to be dealing with a lot of problems out there, and we're just going to have to see how that unfolds. But the good news is we'll see a little bit of a warm-up, so enjoy it while left because the cold temperatures are coming back next week. But if you want to keep tuned to all this crazy Michigan weather, just go to my website, DopplerTomWeather.com.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's check in with Joey and Holly now that the gardening season's winding down. We'll get our 2-minute gardening tips with them.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes, as most outdoor gardens are done for the year, or at least covered in snow. There are still some tasks that need to be performed, and this is called end-of-season maintenance.
That's correct. So you want to take a look at things that you can maybe change or do or repair. So, for example, your seeds, your tools, anything else you use, maybe your gardening gloves that you use during the summer or during the season that might need to be replaced or repaired.
Though that trial that wasn't working so well, or maybe you broke and you kept buying cheap ones, it is, the saying goes, you pay for what you get. So it's time to look at the tools that you use, and if they weren't that reliable, it may be time to invest a little more money into reliable tools that will stand the test of time in your garden.
Another good idea is to take a look if you're harvesting or near the end of harvest, is to think about what seeds you're going to save. Get those set to save. If you've already put some seeds aside to save, get those labeled and ready for the next season.
Also, go through your seed box and see what seeds you have that are fairly old. Older seeds do not germinate nearly as good as fresh seeds. It's just the way nature has set things up. So by testing seeds that are older, you can take 10 seeds, put in a damp paper towel in a air zip top bag, but don't close it completely. Allow some air circulation in there. And over a week or 2 weeks or however long those seeds typically will take to germinate, then you can see the percentage of seeds that will germinate in that bag. If you're below 70%, it may be time to discard those seeds and purchase new seeds so you can have valuable space that can be planted with seeds that will germinate next year. For more information on end-of-maintenance activities, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
theWisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
For the health-conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joey Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right, thank you, guys. Okay, let's get to our guest for tonight. He is the owner-operator of the Garage Training Facility right here in Garden City, Mr. Tim Fredenburg. Tim, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
We actually had you on at the chili cook-off at the open house briefly, so now I invited you back and we can talk a little further about all your accomplishments and that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you get into the training facility and open the garage? Tell us a little bit about the garage, too. It's kind of unique.
Okay, kind of got into the garage training facility, kind of came from a passion of helping people.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout my years of experience in training people throughout the years and working through rehabs of myself and studying muscle kinesiology and how it actually works and functions, and I've learned that conventional training doesn't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an event happen in my life just recently last year that caused me to focus on this full time.
Okay.
And it was an industry thing, I guess you would call it, a downsizing of a company, and
Yeah.
they got rid of people that were getting close to be invested in the company. So it was kind of on necessity. My wife goes, you've been training people for so long, take it as your passion because you're good at it.
Yeah, you enjoy it.
And
Something you
training
like.
people full time, and
Yeah.
let's make a go of it. So we decided to do that. And
Unfortunately, that happened to a lot of people, out of a job like that, but it's nice that you bounce back. And now is this at your house, the garage?
yeah, we took my garage and we revamped it. We tore down all the insides of it and made it into a whole training facility.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got prowler sleds in there. We've got kettlebells, sandbags, a lot of functional pattern training facility in there, so you can do the battle ropes and stuff like that you can really work more of the muscles in their entireties.
Mm-hmm. So you got 30 years roughly of training
Mm-hmm.
under your belt experience. You do boot camps?
Yep.
You want to tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
the boot camps, we bring people in, we look at their abilities, and then we adjust the boot camp to their specific needs.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are more athletically inclined than others,
Right.
but we make it equal for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
If they come in and they're heavier weight and need to lose some poundage, obviously they're not going to be in condition of other people that are in condition. So we adjust the movements and stuff that they can do and make it easy for them to do, so they can get the best benefits out of what they're trying to accomplish.
So what size would a typical class, how many people would you say?
I can handle up to 10 people at a time.
Okay, so
my
you really have that one-on-one kind of personal training, really.
Yeah,
You can
because-
spend the time with them
Absolutely.
being small like that.
Because once you get a bigger group, you can't make sure that they're doing everything foundationally
Yeah,
correct. And then,
right.
then you have that option of somebody getting injured. And
So you have all ages?
all ages from 18 to 63.
Wow. So there is hope for me, maybe.
Get in. You got to get in, Kerry.
I don't know.
I've trained a couple of people in their mid-70s
Really?
just because they want to try and rehab an injury and
Mike?
get more abilities, because they're dealing with arthritis and that
Mhm,
stuff. And
yeah.
how to get more mobility, So I
Right.
teach them what's happening in their body and how we work around that.
Yeah, that's my problem. I have ankylosing spondylitis. It's no secret. Curvature of the spine. And it's a form of arthritis, and there's just things I can't do anymore. But it's that mobility, If I'd have done that sooner, I may have not have been so curved, they said.
Yeah, we found that if you strengthen the muscles around the interior or of the muscle structure itself, you can alleviate a lot of the pressures because it's more core strength of keeping the skeletal, in line than it
Right.
is everything else.
Yeah, the core, that's what they say, to strengthen the core. And unfortunately, as we age, everything goes south.
Yes, in my one-on-one training sessions, that's what I focus on is the core. And once you can get a good foundation of good core basis, then you can kind of branch out and do other exercises to strengthen everything else.
Now, what about nutrition? That plays a big part too, right?
Huge, yeah. And I teach people what the nutrition does in their body, of how it responds, and then I teach them to understand their bodies. Because people just eat, but they don't really realize what they're eating, when they're eating it, how they feel after they eat it. And then it tells you if you're more protein sensitive or more carb sensitive, so you can kind of adjust your diet as you learn your body. Because most people don't take the time to learn their body.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I went through bodybuilding competitions, and I did several of them in a row, and I really understood how my body worked, what it liked, what it didn't like, how I felt after I did certain things and ate certain things, how your body felt. But people really don't pay that attention till you really have them focus on it.
Yeah, nobody knows your body like you know it,
Yeah.
yourself. And what do you think of energy drinks?
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan. Yeah.
They have their purpose like coffee and everything else.
It's the
and-
caffeine in that.
Yeah, and as long as it's in moderation.
Yeah. A lot of your kids are on that stuff now, them Monster energy drinks and that. Whoa.
A buddy of mine was drinking 2 Monsters every single day.
Ooh.
He ended up having a 6 bypass
Ooh.
Wow.
because it was just a buildup of a lot of other things that he would just had a poor diet, and that
Yeah.
was the main thing that they said. You're pouring so much sugar in your system
Wow.
that your body couldn't handle all the additional sugars that you're putting into
Really
it. 'Cause
clogs
in
you
one
up.
day, he would have up to 4 or 5 Monsters.
Holy cow. He must have really been wired.
Yeah, he can work a lot of hours.
Yeah. So like juicing and stuff like that, you how do you feel about that? Like juicers,
I'm
all
very
natural.
Holistic. I really focus on holistic medicines and a holistic approach to the body as far as, if you can get something better in your system whole food wise, it's really good for you. Juices and that stuff, you got to look at your sugar contents of your juices. I had a guy come up to me the other day and says, look, I'm drinking Ocean Spray, juice.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking sodas.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I said, but it's got 57 grams of sugar in it.
Oh.
He went, oh.
Wow. Yeah, see, people don't read those labels. That's really very important, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, you think you're getting all natural juice and there's all that sugar in it.
Water. You got to go with the water.
Water's probably the best, isn't it?
Yeah, you need 128 ounces a day is what you should take in your system. That's 1 gallon a day.
See, that's something I just don't drink enough water. I really don't.
And you'll notice once you do, like if you drink water first thing when you get up in the morning, first thing you do is drink at least 8 to 10 ounces of water.
Okay.
It jumpstarts your metabolism. Yeah, it gets your organs flushed out, it gets you going, and gets everything feeling better.
You drink a lot of water?
Not enough.
Not
I've
enough.
got friends though where they, would read somewhere the doctor would say to them, you need to drink a whole lot more. So they would force themselves, and after a couple of months, I mean, they'll show you a before and after picture just by getting that hydration into your system.
Mm-hmm.
Their skin looks better. They look more awake. Their eyes look better.
I know you hear that.
It's a major
Yeah.
difference. A major
Yeah.
difference.
It's true.
People throughout the years, as they age and as we go through life, you lessen the water intake and you take other intakes from things, but you keep eating.
Mm-hmm.
Your pancreas is your main filter of your whole system.
Mm-hmm.
And the water goes in and flushes that out, so it makes your pancreas work better, your liver, your kidneys, and all
All
that
the
stuff.
toxins.
Because once you flush that pancreas out and gets all that cleansing in there, your body can work the way it's supposed to work. And that's what water really does for you.
Yeah, I should probably get on the water regimen. Really.
Just try and go for a half a gallon a day,
Yeah.
and then step it up from there. But you'll notice a big difference. Yeah, you'll go to the bathroom a little bit more till your kidneys expand.
Yeah, but
a little
that's
bit.
good. That's a good
Stay
thing,
there.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
you want
flushing
to
your system out.
exactly. What about you, Mike?
I could use more water,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I do try to avoid sugar stuff because I'm diabetic, so
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep those down.
Yeah. What about the diabetic? What do you have advice for them, diabetics?
I've got a couple people that are really close to being they're in that
Borderline.
Yeah, they're in that red area. They said if I don't change something, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have to do insulin shots and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And once we controlled their diet and got their get their water intake up, their medicines started working better for them. So
Big
they had
difference.
Actually, especially people like high blood pressure and that stuff. I've worked with people with those and gotten them completely off all their medications simply by some exercise,
Wow.
eating better foods.
That is
and
good.
Drinking the right proper amounts of water as your body goes.
Mm-hmm.
You start being able to take some of the extra stuff out of your system.
Yeah.
So you don't need that medication anymore because your body's starting to regulate itself. It was just plugged up.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of your accomplishments. and
We don't have
and I
enough
hope
time.
we have time
We don't
for
have enough
Dave.
time. No, keep going. Talk about him, less about me. Talk about him.
You are a competitive bodybuilder.
Yes.
You played semi-pro hockey.
Actually, yeah. I played pro hockey,
Pro, okay.
but I could only skate twice because that was back in 1984 when you had to be a minor amateur to play in the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
So,
You play professional softball.
yes.
You were MVP last year in the
This year,
World
yeah.
Series, or this year.
Yep, just
I'm sorry.
recently. And I fought in the UFC for 7 years
Yeah,
professionally.
UFC. Yeah, I saw that too. Unbelievable.
I'm not impressed. That was a very short list. That was a very short
Well,
list.
anybody that can see this show on video, I mean, you'll see the physical specimen this guy is. It's like looking in a mirror. But anyway,
You've been waiting all night for that one.
yeah. But
You're in a fun house.
now you've come in second 2 years in a row to the same guy for Mr.
Same
Michigan.
guy. Actually, he just texted me before I came here. He says, "Hey, good luck tonight."
Really? Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So-
I've been able to train with him a few times, and we picked each other's brains and stuff. But he's never lost a competition since 2002. So
Wow.
So is he from the area?
He's
or-
from Adrian.
Adrian? Okay. Wow. Just can't seem to.
I told him I'll get him.
Yeah, you will. You will. Exactly. You're a member of the Garden City Business Alliance.
Yes.
I wanted to get that out there. Very important.
It's a fabulous. I came across it by accident,
Mm-hmm.
and I really, really enjoy it. That it's something that you can meet other business owners that you normally wouldn't meet,
Right.
and it gives you that little bit of networking ability and
Get your name out there.
get your name out there, but also keeps everything in Garden City, keeps it in house.
Right, that's-
How do we bring more people to this area to grow this area?
Yep. That's
and rather
that's
than
our.
outsourcing everything, well, let's go to Novi, let's go here, let's go there.
Yep.
No, let's keep it in house and try and say, okay, I know somebody in this town that can do this for you. I know somebody here that can.
And you're so right, because there's been times when me and my wife go out to dinner and we'll go outside of Garden City and we actually feel guilty, for God's sake, when we do.
Yeah.
I mean, really. You want to keep it in the community, and that's what we're working, towards. And we're glad to have you, happy to have you on board. That's for sure. And then come December, we'll talk about that later on. Going to have that holiday mix. So I hope we meet a lot of businesses that night. Should be good.
Yeah. But one thing I have done, if I can expand on one other
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Everybody goes through conventional training. They want to go to a Gold's Gym or a Powerhouse Gym, and it's all conventional products in there.
Right.
but you have to train the muscle in a different fashion to get the response that you want out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, especially what I train, I try and go through, help athletes go to the next level. Since I've played at every single level,
Yeah.
I know what it takes to go from one level to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
and from that level to the next level.
Okay.
And each time you step up a level, like I explained to the kids that are playing hockey now, the 2 kids I just trained now have scholarship offers, and one kid has a slight possibility he might go pro.
Oh, wow. That's
I
awesome.
explained to him, I said, the hardest you get in high school is the average hit you're going to get in college.
Mm-hmm.
I said, the hardest you get hit in college is the average hit that you're going to get in the pros. And so you understand you have to be
Makes
faster,
sense.
bigger, stronger. And I said, you have to be more durable.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I was giving these 2 athletes is because they were prone to injuries. So what we did is we focused on making their weaknesses their strengths.
Okay.
And if you train a muscle in one certain fashion, when you take it out of that realm,
Uh-huh.
it has a chance for injury.
Mm-hmm.
But if you train it in its entirety in all different directions, now that muscle is making functional patternly strong, to where now you can work it in different directions. And if it's taken out of that direction, it's not going to be injured.
Okay.
For sports athletics and that stuff like that, you're never in the same directional line all the time.
Right, right.
And so it eliminates injuries. And so that's what I really focused on. And that's what made me go to the functional system of training muscles in different fashions to get different results.
Yeah, because injuries are probably the number one thing in sports. I mean,
Takes
let's say
everybody out.
it takes them out. It career-ending injuries, you know. And yeah, if you can work with someone to strengthen them, that's a plus, right?
And I've been a work in process because I've torn about every muscle I can throughout the years, getting hurt in every direction.
So you know how to do it.
I've learned rehab.
So if somebody come to you with a problem, I mean, like that, you'd be able to
We can
work with
fix
them
it.
and put them
I
on some
work with
kind
a
of
lot people
regimen.
after surgeries and that stuff to help them rehab,
Mhm.
get strengthened back up again. And I'm dealing like we talked earlier. I'm helping a guy out in New York just by videos and stuff like that, teaching him what to eat, when to eat it, and what to do to rehab his leg.
Right.
Because the guy his size, you know, being 6'8", 350, you know, he's got a lot of weight bearing down on different ligaments.
That's the
and
picture of the
tendons.
guy you showed us?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah. This guy's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the softball.
Well,
How's that work for you?
Softball's been good. You know, we won 3 national titles this year, Triple Crown, and a World Series, so we had a
Wow.
good season.
Wow.
I made my contract, so I got signed for next year,
Okay.
and we
So it
just-
pays you a little.
Yeah, they pay for everything for us. You know, paying for your hotel rooms, rental cars, everything's paid for.
Wow.
That's sweet.
But they expect you to perform when you're there. I mean, 'cause
Yeah, right.
It's not beer league softball, and that's what I try to explain to people.
Right.
It's not beer league softball. You don't go out there and have fun.
No, this is sponsors and pro. This is
Yeah,
the real
if you
deal.
don't maintain a 750 batting average or better, you're cut.
Oh, wow.
So if you go out there and you go over, for your second game, you're going home. You're not going to be on the team next weekend.
Wow.
Ooh, that's real serious
So he
stuff.
says, you know, we make sure everything's taken care of, and that's your job, because I play for a team out of Wisconsin,
Oh,
and we got guys on our team from 5 different states. So it's our responsibility to get your own work in before that weekend coming up.
oh, okay.
So,
So is there a team from Michigan or no?
not at our level, what we do.
Not your level?
There's a
Wow.
couple lower level teams from Michigans that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
But
So how long? Who's your sponsor? You want to
It's-
give them a shout out? Or?
DLB out of Wisconsin. It's a building manufacturer out there.
That's
And,
pretty cool.
LT Grading, it's a grading company out there.
So how many game season is that? So roughly.
We'll play on the average of 7 to 9 tournaments, but they're all over the United States.
Oh, okay.
But we'll play anywhere from, I think 7. We ran the gamut one night. We played 7 games one weekend, but normally we're playing between 11 and 15 games
Wow.
in a weekend. To play.
How's attendance?
Not
Good?
bad. I mean, in the bigger games, you get bigger attendance. You know,
Uh-huh.
the World Series, we had a couple thousand people watching.
Cool. And that was in Vegas.
Yeah,
And you were the MVP.
got lucky.
That's pretty cool.
I think maybe you prepared a little bit.
They don't-
I mean, no luck.
Yeah.
We try to take 200 to 300 swings, a week before you play that week. In the games that we have a big tournament coming up,
Yeah.
we'll try to get 300 to 500 swings in that week.
Wow.
And
Holy
that's,
cow.
somebody throwing a lot of balls, you hit
Man,
a lot of
oh,
different
man.
directions, situational hitting.
And that's fast pitch underhand?
No, it's 6 to 12 foot, actually 6 to 10 foot arc.
Okay. Okay.
They'll let us keep it down to about 3 to 8 feet.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's just slow pitch underhand, but you get to.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, we get to do a little bit more when we want with the ball. We get to throw, like I throw a knuckleball, but you throw curveballs, in shoots, and then you get to throw the ball between your legs, behind your back, anything to keep the guys off balance. Because like I showed you the picture of the guy, he's 6'8", 350, and he's standing in the box. He's gonna hit the ball back at you. You don't want him to just have time to load up and hit you with it.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They make us wear helmets this year for the first time.
Really?
Because they had 4 people get killed last year.
Oh,
And
geez.
5 facial reconstructions. So they said after that, it's going to be mandatory. Everybody's wearing helmets this year.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are so powerful, man. A line drive, that's a shot.
And you're only 50 feet away. So,
Not enough time to react.
No, not at all.
me being a pitcher, I feel like a human pinata. So I just try and get out of the way and let somebody.
I
catch
can
the ball.
imagine. Just put your glove up, man. Like that.
Yeah.
Defense.
I'd be holding it down.
Yeah, right.
Glove, yeah.
Yeah, 2 gloves.
Sideways.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
But just all the years of training and staying in shape and trying to. I want to teach people how to live a longer life. The guys that are 35 to 40, 40 to 50, teaching them how their bodies change and how they can actually still keep up with the grandkids. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the hardest thing to do as we age. Trying to
Exactly.
keep the energy levels up,
Stamina.
and keep up with the grandkids, and just
Yeah.
trying to keep your strength levels up to where you can still have an active lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we age gracefully?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
The lady I have now, she's 62, going to be 63. She goes, I just want to be active. So she goes, I feel myself slowing down, being sluggish. So we're helping her through that process and, losing some body fat and teaching her how to do that.
And you have a Facebook page. I've seen some of you post some video and stuff and
Yeah.
pictures. I mean, that's awesome. People want to. What's your Facebook page?
The Garage Training Facility on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
Just search
click on
that.
us. You can Google it. The Garage Training Facility. It'll come right up on Facebook.
Yeah.
The Black Friday, I'm putting out a thing so you guys can hear it first here. It's going to be half off for boot camps,
Oh, okay, cool.
so you can get a half off as long as you book it that day.
Yeah.
I break the contract in half. And any one-on-one training sessions, I'll give 50% off of that. Actually, your first training session will be free. I do a free consultation and free muscle testing to see what your limitations are and how I can help you. And if we can kind of work as a process, because it's being a trainer, you're also someone's coach, and you're helping them through a process that they're not normal to. When you're going to train the body and make it do certain things that you want it to do,
Yeah.
you have to understand what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And you believe in no pain and no gain, or what? You believe in that?
Absolutely, yeah. I won't make you puke or nothing like that. But
What fun is that?
yeah, some guys like that, so we'll take them to that point.
Yeah, right.
But it all depends on what they need. Their
Yeah.
own specific needs. And then for Christmas, we're going to do another special there. We're going to do, buy 3 weeks, you get 1 week free.
Okay.
So we just want to try and make.
Well, send all that to me in an email, all them specials, and I'll get them out there for you.
Oh, fabulous!
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Put them on the GCBA website, and you do have a coupon, I think, out there too, right?
Yep. Yeah, we put a coupon out.
Yeah. Awesome. So I did want to touch on the UFC. You fought for 7 years, UFC?
Yeah, I did it before it was glamorous. It was.
'Cause it's big now. It's huge, isn't it?
I did it back in the mid '70s, late '70s, early '80s, into the '90s.
Wow.
I was fortunate if I was 2 fights away from fighting Shamrock for the title when he had the title.
Oh, Ken.
But he got injured, I got injured, and it just never kind of thing. But they call it cage shoot fighting back then, where you could fight anywhere from 100 to 150 pounds under or over your weight class.
Oh, wow.
And they just put you in a cage
Wow.
and they draw it off like a tournament bracket style. Until later on in years, then they came out with the glamour stuff. Well, now you can fight somebody at your own weight class.
Okay.
It makes it a lot fairer. Because my first fight, I fought a guy 120 pounds heavier than me.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, I came
It's
in at
changed a lot.
205, he was a little over 300 pounds, and
Yeah. It's really gotten popular, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable how popular it is now.
well, it's so many mixed martial arts that are
Yeah.
included. I mean, it's not just about beating somebody up. It's a whole facet of technology and
A
training.
lot of finesse and stuff
Yeah,
involved.
A lot of different. Not one discipline wins it.
No.
And that's the thing is who's more disciplined and more multiple sanctions of martial arts.
Our fire chief, Kathy Harmon, I don't know if you know, but she's the paramedic for a lot of UFC fights.
I did security
Cage fight.
for one of the cage fights.
Okay.
Over in Taylor, and she was there.
Okay, yeah, Taylor, yeah, she's out there a lot. Yeah, she gets into that. That's cool. You got any questions for Tim before?
I mean, it's just kind of a generic question. I mean, obviously you've been doing it a long time, and you've achieved success and results. I mean, what advice would you give to the folks out there who, obviously we're not going to look like you or be able to perform like you overnight. I mean, what would you say to those folks who know that they've got a tough road ahead of them and a very high hill to climb?
Let me help you walk down the journey and make you the best you can be. Everybody's not going to be able to accomplish just from genetics-wise, but let me help you make you the best you that you can possibly be.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not for everybody.
Everybody's
but everybody-
metabolism's
yeah,
different. I mean, it's
exactly.
just really,
And just helping each individual person understand what they're going through helps them accomplish the things that they need to accomplish in their lives.
yeah, just to become more fit, I guess, is really what you're looking
Well, like
for.
he says, just about having that higher quality of life. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's keeping up with the grandkids or,
Yep.
want to be bigger,
Exactly.
faster, stronger in the process. I mean, you're improving your quality of life. You're keeping your health care costs down.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's-
even if you want to come at it
that's
from a
huge.
monetary point of view, I mean, it's just about, making it better for everybody.
Yeah, it's well worth it for a lot of people, probably. What about contact information?
Yeah, you can contact me directly at my cell phone number is 734-658-9372. That's right on the website.
Okay.
Say that again, just for everybody at home listening.
734-658-9372.
Sweet.
Awesome. Anything else you want to touch while we're here? It's your show.
No, I really enjoyed the time here.
What about security? You want to talk about that?
I do executive protection as well. I've done fugitive recovery work with U.S. Marshals,
Okay.
and I do executive protection, high-end profile, high-threat security jobs, professional bodyguard for different individuals that come into town that need a bodyguard that I'll go and do that work for them.
That's sweet.
So I really like that.
You've done a lot of celebrities, too, over the
A lot of
years.
different celebrities that we've been able to work with, and it's been a lot of fun. It's glorified babysitting.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I
making
get it.
sure they don't get in too much trouble.
Yeah. Because they will. They'll stray a little bit.
Yeah, some of these guys could use a babysitter.
Yeah, the fugitive recovery stuff is a lot of fun.
Now, where is the garage located?
The garage is located at 2062 Cardwell.
2062.
Yep, that's Cardwell.
Uh-huh.
That's right behind Cartwright Auto.
Okay, yeah. Know where it is.
Little dead-end street there.
Okay.
I like that because when you're pushing the prowler sleds and stuff, and you got to go out in the street, and so you get a big distance of pushing.
So, say someone's interested, they contact you, maybe they come out and take a tour of the facility.
They
and
can take a tour, get a free explanation, and do a free muscle test with you,
Oh, cool.
and just see what I can do for you, what service I can provide for you.
Okay.
It's about helping them change something in their life that they want to change, and I'll see what I can do to help them.
Because I think what you can provide is a heck of a lot more than what they're going to get at, say, Planet Fitness or something.
Yeah.
You know? I
When
mean,
you're paying for a membership at a gym,
yeah,
then you still have to pay for a trainer.
yeah.
And a lot of the trainers now out there,
Yeah, over there, they just show you how to use the
Yeah.
machine. I mean, they're not...
without saying his name, there's one in Canton, there's one in Plymouth, and it's anywhere from $125 to $350 an hour you're paying for a trainer. I'm nowhere near that.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, you're really reasonable.
and then you put that on top of a gym membership and stuff, and I don't have you charge a membership.
Mm-hmm.
I help you just get the results that you're looking to get for. I'll bring you in there. I'll put you on your own program.
Because your boot camps are, what, 4 weeks? Or how many?
They're 4 week long.
4 week long, and it's just a flat rate, and
Flat rate.
and they
of
come every
$100
week.
for the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's really
And they try and
affordable.
make
That's
it really
very
affordable for
affordable.
people.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And try to help them get what they want to get out of their.
It's all about getting in those habits. I mean, he comes in and tunes you up and dials you in, but at the end of the day, you got to go home and keep doing it yourself. So
People go out and get their own memberships after that. Once I teach them what they do, what they can do, and get them seeing results in their life, and they can. Once you get the results and you see
Yeah.
that you can actually do that, then it's easy to tweak things in that, and they can go out and go to a gym and do that stuff. And then you just come back and talk to me from time to time and tweak some things. Hey, I'm
Yeah.
struggling here. What do you think
Right.
about this?
Maintenance, like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help them kind of go through some of the nutrition aspects, and let's change this up, let's switch that up, and help them move some things around their life.
And the number one thing to start right now is more water.
Drinking water.
More water.
Just remember, 120
Very simple.
ounces a day.
Yeah.
And a couple of kids that I'm training.
120. Let me write that down.
A couple of kids I'm training. I told them, I said, at Kroger's, you can go down there, it's 86 cents for a gallon.
That's right.
And you
Okay.
get that gallon, you take the lid off in the morning, you start drinking it when you get up. Before you go to bed, that's got to be gone. And you know you got your water in for the day. I'm not a calculated person where I can, I drink this many bottles of water,
Yeah.
I can't do the math.
Just get a gallon a day in.
Just get a gallon a day, make it simple on
And you're
yourself.
good.
Carry that gallon around and drink that gallon. When the gallon's gone, then you know you got your water in.
My youngest son drinks water all the time. All the time.
What a weirdo.
Isn't he weird? No, really. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome. Doppler Tom says he drinks nothing but water. Yeah.
Yeah, we just did a study. I like to do different studies, and I use my family to do it, which is it's kind of fun because they're up for
Use
it.
them for the guinea pigs.
Yeah, my daughter has this big wedding coming up,
Oh.
and she goes, "I want to be in better shape now than I was when I got out of high school."
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so she had she's 30 now. So over the years, as you know, that if you continues to eat like you did in high school, but you don't do anything different, you're going to be 10 to 20 pounds heavier
That's true.
in the next few years.
Yeah.
Just because your metabolism slows over time. So I said, okay, let's do a beta test with you. We did one with her and one with my wife.
Okay.
And I said, okay, we're going to do your measurements. So I'll do a BMI measurement, which is a 5-pinch test that tells you where your body fat is and what percentage that you are.
BMI is body mass index.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that sometimes for people is very awakening because they don't understand it, or they didn't realize what kind of condition and shape they're in when I show them where their weight is and then where their body mass index is. Okay, you're carrying around an extra 50 pounds of fat. And this many
Wow.
pounds of lean muscle, this much fat.
And that makes a huge difference.
Huge.
Oh.
And so we did this beta test with my daughter and my wife of where their body fat percentages were. And then we put them I put them both on a track of nutrition, and then both with using the boot camps and we measured them every 4 weeks. And in 2 boot camps, my wife was down 11 pounds of body fat.
Wow.
And she had gained 7 pounds of lean muscle. My daughter was down 13 pounds of body fat, and she put on 8 or 9 pounds of lean muscle. And so she had went from, a larger size, like I think 13 or 14, she's down to a 6.
Wow.
So if you just
So she'll be looking good in the wedding.
Oh, she's gonna look fantastic. I'm proud of her because
That's
the hard
great.
work. She's done the work. I just I put the work in there, but I only see them 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get them 3 hours a week for 4 weeks.
Wow.
And I explain to them it's the time that you're not with me is the most important time
That's true.
of manufacturing and manipulating your diet and staying focused on that. I'll do the hard work in the gym of getting you that stimulation, but when you're not with me, it's take that walk with a dog. Get your kids out and walk around with them. Do that. The little bits of exercise every day
Yeah.
is going to pay more in the dividends in the end. And once you see it on paper and you kind of track it and you really pay attention to it, they were amazed at how much they lost over those times. And
Yeah, like when people complain about their knees are aching and that, it's probably that extra weight that they're really carrying
extra
around.
weight in water.
Yeah.
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 Because the joints get dried out, and so they hurt more.
Yeah.
You hydrate them more, and they're going to feel better.
Yeah. Keep them lubricated.
But, I like to do that with everybody when they come in.
Yeah.
They get started with me. I said, okay, let's get a baseline of where you're at. So here's your BMI.
Uh-huh.
And we do a strength test. We do a movement test to see where their limitations are.
Okay.
And then we kind of get a baseline where they're at. And they say, okay, let's check this in 30 days and see if we're on the right path.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it's been very interesting, let me tell you. Really appreciate you coming on.
When are we going, Kerry? When are we going?
Boy, I don't know. You'd have to start me out real slow.
I'll give you your first workouts are free. So anytime you guys want to come over.
I want to watch them get you till you throw up. I'll pay extra. I'll pay extra for that. I'll pay
Mike,
double.
you're coming too, Mike. Maybe we'll get Richard out there too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming.
We'll get the whole crew over there. Absolutely. Well, Tim, thanks a lot. I really appreciate you coming on, and anytime you want to come back, feel free.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're going to come over and see you, really.
Yeah.
We'll check it
You're
out.
more than welcome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do a little road trip.
Sure.
Sound good?
Yeah. The chief lives on Cardwell, too, so she's just up the road from him.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Does she?
Yeah, I think she does.
You south of Ford Road?
Yes.
On Cardwell? Yeah. She's right off of Warren.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's north of me. So
Yeah.
North.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, she's got my card. I told her to come in.
Yeah, she's
free workout and free workup, and
you know,
she gets into that
the
stuff.
chief, at one
She-
time, she showed me the old pictures of her. I think she
Yes.
used to bench 300 pounds.
Yes.
She was bad.
She
was bad.
Very bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she loves to fight.
Oh, yeah, she does.
You,
Yeah.
you
She's
above Mark yet?
no, I'm right at Ford Road. I'm one block off of Ford Road.
We're at dead ends right there, south of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And of course, 3 blocks west of Inkster.
Yes.
A, B, C, D.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, thanks again, and really appreciate you coming on. And I don't know, hanging with you, I think I'd be intimidated.
Or tired.
What?
And tired.
And tired.
Yeah.
And throwing up and, geez, peeing all the time.
You'd be amazed what you can do in 30 days. You'd feel great.
Yeah. I'm going to start with the water, though. I really am. I'm going to do that. Really, really
It's a
am.
big thing. You notice the difference in just a few weeks of once you start getting the hydration in there, your body starts feeling better.
Yeah. And say hi to the wife.
I absolutely will.
Yeah. All right. Take care, all right?
Thank you.
You're welcome to hang around and
Yeah, I'll hang out
listen
for
to
a
the rest of the
little
show or whatever, all right? All right. Very good. All right. Well, hey, let's get to State Representative David Knezek. We got 5 minutes for you.
I'll take 5 minutes.
Well, hold on. Just a quick reminder. Thursday, November 27th, Thanksgiving, there will be no live show.
Ooh.
But we do suggest going to our main show page at TalkShoe.com, search for show ID 82757, and get caught up on all 224 past shows if you've missed any. It's a good idea.
That'd take you a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Download them, put them on your phone, whatever.
Yeah, just go with that tryptophan.
Yeah, exactly. But we will be
Probably
back.
Not in his recommended diet.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll be back December 4th, though, 8 p.m. So never fear. We'll be here, right back here on TalkShoe.com. Then jumping to December 18th, and this is going to be a good show. You might want to stop by.
Who's coming on the 18th?
We're going to have that local author who, his name is Wayne Stolt, and he wrote a book about crossing the line.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about immigration and our borders. How appropriate is that? Obama just talked about immigration, didn't he, tonight?
8 o'clock tonight, you're supposed to talk.
Yeah. He's going to bypass Congress and
And then Congress is going to try to see if they can undo it.
Yep.
He said.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Should be interesting. So we hope you can make a note of these upcoming show dates and be able to join us. Okay.
Is that my lead-in? Oh, I like
All
this.
right, it's time for Let It Fly, where we discuss current topics that may affect our community and yours.
This is new.
So let's let it fly. Hey, how about that?
That's new. I
You like
it.
that?
I dig it.
Something a little wild there for you.
I like the guitar intro.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get to it. Let's let it fly. Let's talk about the gasoline tax.
The gasoline
Yeah.
tax.
That's going to be for roads, right?
It's going to be for roads. We, the feedback is kind of a mixed bag. I mean,
First,
really.
explain it to the listeners what it's about, how much.
They're increasing the gas tax double. Mm-hmm. Instead of putting it at the point of sale, it's going to be moved to the wholesale level. And so what that does is, as there's fluctuations in the price at the wholesale level, that tax is going to go up and down with it. So it's going to. Their hope is, not keep it at the whim or the mercy of the economy and how we're doing. If things are really low and then we're pulling in less funds, so be it. But if things are going well, they're going to be able to pick up additional road funding to help, protect some.
So
of the
this is
local
a done
state
deal,
county
right?
roads. This is not a done deal.
Not a done
This
deal?
is passed out of the Senate,
Okay,
and it needs to come over to the House.
right. And what do you think?
I think it's going to pass. Yeah, there's no question. I think it's going to be overwhelming bipartisan support to get it done. It was very bipartisan getting it out of the Senate. There's some folks who have signed up and said no to any sort of changes or increases in taxes and fees and what have you because of their own personal ideology. But at the end of the day, I think that the votes are there.
Those people drink a lot of tea.
They drink a lot of tea. But, I've sort of, and I've told you this beforehand, I've kind of kept my powder dry on the issue because everyone knows that it has to be addressed. I know it has to be addressed.
Oh, absolutely.
And I do believe, or I'd be a betting man to say, thank you, that there's going to be additional pieces to this equation before it's all said and done and sent to the governor's office. And so, folks aren't crazy about, the increase in the gas tax.
Right.
Obviously. But I think there might be some additional pieces to that puzzle that come along with it that might be a little bit more palatable. The other thing that we talked about beforehand, too, obviously, that very few people talked about when the gas tax went up. Obviously, that was the big story. It took all the press.
Yep.
They did increase the fines on the overweight trucks.
Yeah, and we talked about that earlier. That was really under the radar, wasn't it?
The bill
I didn't
passed
know that.
overwhelmingly out of the House, and it passed 37-0 in the Senate.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
So, depending on how...
Yeah.
Depending on how much overweight you are with the truck is going to dictate, just how great of a fine that you have.
Are they going to enforce it? I mean,
so that's always the biggest question.
Exactly.
What type of manpower do we have to enforce it? Obviously, when it's being enforced, of course they are.
Yeah.
But I kind of equate it to, when we changed the laws regarding fireworks and gave the city actual teeth behind enforcing that law. The police will tell you, well, if we get 10 different calls and fireworks is one of them, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, we triage those calls, and they go to the bottom of the list. It's not that they're not important, but if we've got a number of other things going on in the city, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And so, when the weigh stations are open and when they're sitting there and they're checking the trucks, absolutely they're going to enforce it.
Or they're not open a lot, though.
A lot, exactly. And so we've seen, it's been interesting, going back and forth on 96 to Lansing, we've seen as this issue has come up, the weigh stations open a whole lot more.
Really?
A whole lot more.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's hope it continues.
Yeah, so that's one of it. But again, this is going to raise $1.5 billion to address the problem. My biggest concerns have been, one, are we spending money that we're already taking in the most judicious way so that we're not coming and asking people for too much? Part of that was the money that we collect on the sales tax on gasoline that doesn't go to education, that goes to the general fund. Can we earmark that money to go to roads specifically? That's about $450 to $500 million right there.
Some of it, maybe.
No question. I mean, we passed it out of the House. It's up to the Senate now. And, obviously the gas tax piece went up. I'd like to see some additional tax relief for our homeowners, our middle class.
Yeah, now you thought
families out
something
there.
was going to be piggybacked on.
Like I said,
I mean, this is your
I mean,
thought.
it's just my speculation that with an issue as tenuous as this, I don't think it's going to go through all on its own. I think they're going to look for ways to attach additional legislation or to try and bring into that conversation that tax relief piece. Because then they can say, well, yes, we're asking for this to serve this purpose, but we're going to make it up to you over here.
And this was Representative Kozowski's bill, right?
That was the weight limits bill.
Let's give him a little shout out.
Absolutely, yeah. Bob has been...
That's great.
He's been a phenomenal legislator. He's been a great friend to me. He's been a great representative for Wayne Westland, and he's getting stuff done.
Yeah.
When you're in a minority like we are,
Yeah.
it's difficult to get that legislation passed through.
And you got to work across the aisle.
Right.
I mean, and you're very good at doing that.
I try.
I mean, so let's congratulate you on another honor that you're going to be starting, chairman of the Democratic Caucus. They've asked you to chair.
Right.
I mean, it's a big deal.
I'm happy about it.
Big deal.
Yeah, I'm happy about it. Yeah, it's it's one of those bittersweet things I said because I'll back it up for a second. They did a story in Lansing the other day about the Senate Democratic Caucus, and they haven't had a majority in Michigan since the 1980s, early 1980s. And so the story was how the newest member of the Senate has never been alive for a Democratic majority in the Michigan Senate. So I appreciated the shout out, but it kind of sucked at the same time. And so, we're a small caucus. We're a very lean caucus this year.
Yeah.
And so the focus is, rebuilding that and trying to at least get to a point where you're more relevant, you're more competitive. And so for me, I truly was not expecting the phone call when I got it to chair the caucus. And so it's a tremendous opportunity, a good chance for Garden City and Dearborn Heights and Redford and the other areas I represent to have an even bigger seat at the table, which we haven't had in leadership posts in a very, very long time. So
what's your biggest challenge, I think, you think, chairing that?
I mean, obviously, the most interesting thing I think about the legislature is we're all type A personalities. And when you're in a leadership position in the Senate or the House, it's not like you're leading random folks. You're leading other leaders. And so, you have to be very sensitive to that, and you have to, I think, understand the fact that, a Democrat from southeastern Michigan or a Republican from southeastern Michigan is different from a Democrat in the Upper Peninsula or a Democrat in the West Side.
Yeah,
of
that's
the
very
state.
true.
So
Yeah.
it's understanding and respecting everybody's differences, trying to meet them halfway, but at the same time, corralling everybody to pull in the same direction to make sure that the issues we're passionate about
Right.
get some attention called to them. I like to say that trying to corral the politicians is like herding cats. It's very difficult, but when you get it done and you get moving in the right direction,
Tim agrees.
yeah, it can be a very good thing.
Yeah.
And so there is no question next year the need for us to work in a bipartisan fashion is going to be bigger than ever. We have 38 members of the
huge.
Michigan Senate that represent 10 million people here in the state. 11 of us are Democrats, 27 are Republicans.
Wow.
The reality is, I'm just trying to be forthright, they don't need us for anything. You
No.
you need 19 votes to pass anything. They got it, and then some. And so if we want to be a part of that
So you guys
equation-
just can't sit back and twiddle your
No,
thumbs.
absolutely
You know
not.
what I mean?
you wanna
Even though
be-
they don't need you, like you said.
Right. If you want to be a part of the
Wow.
the conversation, part of the solution, you have to be bipartisan. And that's a good way for us to actually get things done and to make sure that you're representing your district and you're delivering on behalf
right.
of
You have your
everybody as well.
constituents that are watching you guys. What are you going to do? And that's what they want to see, results.
Yeah, and you hear it all the time. It's so easy when you're in the minority to sit there and what I call the bomb throwing. It's so easy to sit there and say, well, they suck. Or they do things we don't
Point
like.
the finger.
And then to come home to the district and say, well, hey, I would have liked to do something for you, but you know how it is.
That's
Obviously there's a time and a place for that, and it's going to happen here and there. But after a while, the residents get tired of that crap.
Yep, exactly.
They don't want
Yeah,
to
they
hear it
don't wanna hear
anymore.
that.
They understand when you say, I tried to get this, but it was just too much and I couldn't deliver on it.
Yep.
But, the expectation is we want you to work together, and we want you to have something to show for it. At the
That
end of
is
the day.
that's the main issue. They want you to work together.
Well, I tell you, I've told you the story before. There are Democrats up there, and there are Republicans up there. Just because you're from an opposite party, will not talk to you.
Oh yeah.
Will not talk
Staunch.
to you. Oh yeah. And so after I won the primary, and we knew that I was headed to the Senate, I called up every Republican, and I asked them to grab coffee. And half of these folks still think that I'm a staff member up there, and so an intern. So we'd be talking. They say, Dave, what do you want to meet for? I say, listen, no agenda, just here to introduce myself. Look forward to working with you next year.
They're suspicious right
They're
off
saying,
the bat.
well, yeah, because that does not happen.
No.
It does not happen. They say, well, where are we going to work together? I'm saying in the Senate. They say, yeah, but why would we work together in the Senate? I said, I'm coming to the Senate next year, right? They go, oh, no, I had no idea.
We thought you were an input.
Yeah, we thought you were a staff member. I said, oh, my gosh.
Oh my God.
But
So
there's
your
good
work's
folks.
cut out for you.
The work's cut out for us, and I've submitted my committee assignment requests. And so hopefully we'll get some assignments that are in my wheelhouse and things that I'm passionate about. And hopefully in the next week or two here, I'll be able to go up there and pick the office space.
So let me ask you this. You've reached out to the Republicans. Now, has any of them reached out to you?
To varying degrees, some of them have. Like I said, some people understand and believe, hey, they don't need us. And so they're not going to make that first reach. And I think the expectation is for us to do it.
And here's another thing, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it will. Some of them are going to say, well, who's this rookie? Who's this rookie going to take over here, be a chairman, right? Am I right?
Within my own caucus? I hope not.
But I'm saying, the Republicans are going to think that.
It's a completely different world in politics in Michigan with term limits.
Yeah.
It used to be, I'll tell you a great story. A friend of mine used to be the Speaker of the House in Michigan. He ran for Speaker of the House after he had been elected to the legislature for 5 terms. So 10 years he'd been in.
Wow.
And at the time, his biggest criticism was, you haven't been here long enough to be anything, let alone Speaker of the House. That was back when you had to put in that time and that effort and sort of earn your weight. Nowadays, on the House side, you're in and out in 6 years.
Yeah.
So you are the chairman of a committee after 2 years in the House. The Senate, you're in and out after 8 years, and so at a minimum, after your first 4 years, you're a chairman of some sort. And so, I think I was just fortunate enough. I mean, you know what my work ethic is like, to where, after the primary, I went out and I tried to do things to help other people and to support other folks and demonstrate my commitment to my colleagues and my members. And so, when you go out there and you bust your butt, you get the rewards.
Yeah.
And when I got the phone call, when I got the phone call from the leader about, being the chair of the caucus next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like I said, additional responsibility. And just got to make sure that we're managing our time well and staying on top of the constituent side of things, because that is the biggest priority.
Yep.
But at the same day, at the same time, making sure that we're advancing the issues that we care about. And there is a lot. I mean, the stuff that you see in the news, 5% of what we do. I mean, 95% of the time we agree on everything.
Okay.
And the votes go up and they pass 110 to nothing or 100 to 10. That really contentious stuff, the stuff you always read about, the reason we have that 13, 14% approval rating is 5% of the work. And so, whether it's the Veterans Service Dog legislation that I'm going to work on again next year, some of the other things I want to work on, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, it's going to take building those relationships. But at the end of the day, I think it's things that we can all agree on.
And that 4 years is going to make a huge difference.
I'm not even lying about it.
Oh, my God.
I am excited about 4 years.
Come on, man. Are you kidding?
In the House, you never stop campaigning. You finish the campaign,
Right.
you've got a year maybe to work
That's
in some work.
ridiculous, isn't it?
And then the next year after that, everybody's back to campaigning.
Ah.
And the time that it takes you away from the job, the money that you have to raise, it really just disrupts the entire system.
Yep. Yeah. 4 years is huge. Huge.
Yeah, I'll be 32 when I'm done with my first
Oh my God,
4
you
years
old
in the Senate.
fart.
Yeah. I'm not the youngest ever, but I will be the youngest in the Senate next year.
Really?
Yep, the youngest ever was actually from Dearborn Heights, where I am from.
Oh,
he
wow.
He was 22
Really?
when he was elected to the Senate, and it was Julie Plawecki's husband's uncle. So my
Seriously?
replacement, her husband's uncle was the youngest senator ever.
I'll
in the
be
state of
darned.
Michigan.
Wow. Mm-hmm. There's a little history there.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah, back on the roads, has there been any talk about one of the other issues that you brought up before of requiring contractors to
The warranties.
warranties? Yeah.
That hasn't come up yet in the Senate. I really hope that it does, because again, I think that that's a way that the legislature is able to address that because you get the calls all the time. The mixture that we use is different in Michigan, or the composition is different, and that aids to the poor construction. I think instead of the government coming in and mandating it has to be this, we go and say, if you build us a 25-year road and it falls apart after 5 years, that's on you to come fix. Don't come hit the taxpayers up for that again. And so I think that addresses that problem without being overly burdensome or overly regulated. And so, the Senate hasn't taken any action on that yet. We did pass it out of the House. I'd like to see him pass it out of the Senate next year, because it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it does.
Don't come in and screw us over and then
Right.
expect us to foot the bill again and again and again.
Yep.
Probably increase the cost of doing the road repairs, though.
Well,
If they have to raise their standards.
Well, but again, if they have been doing a poor job or a shoddy job for the last however many years anyway, shame on them.
Yeah.
Shame
I
on them.
agree.
But then the longer we drag our feet, the higher it gets too.
Well, like
The
I told
cost.
you, the problem, this road funding problem was $1 billion problem maybe a year ago. We're looking at maybe $2 billion now, $3 billion if we do. They projected this thing out, 10, 20, 25 years, and the cost, just increased exponentially because, and it's not just getting our roads to perfect condition, it's just keeping them in good condition.
Wow.
And so, at the end of the day, I think that what we're talking about now is a good fix to the problem. But, I'd like to hopefully in future years go back and take a bigger look at the heavier lifts of the formula, where the money is going, how the money is going. Places like Redford Township don't get road funding from the state of Michigan. They have to get it through the county.
Really?
And, for a township of
Okay.
4,000 people, okay, that makes sense
Yeah,
maybe.
but Redford's big.
Redford's a pretty big township.
Good size.
Clinton Township's a big township. I mean, they operate essentially the same as cities, but because they're chartered differently, the road funding monies come in differently. And so that's why you saw, and not to get off topic, but up in Redford, when we had the bad snow last year,
Yeah.
they had to have Redford water department trucks go out and try and do some of the road paving and road clearing or what have you, because the county is on limited resources. We know what Wayne County is like. And so the townships are trying to make up the difference when it'd be a whole lot easier if we just cut out the middleman and send the money straight through.
Yeah.
And again, I think that those type of conversations right there, you don't hear Democrats talking about streamlining government. It tends to be a Republican thing.
Yeah.
But we can all agree on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, what's the big deal?
No brainer. Really.
Cut out the middleman, cut the crap, and let's get the job done. And so, for townships as big as Redford, it makes a whole lot of sense. If it's some of these smaller guys, I understand the thought process behind that. They're too small to manage it, or they don't have enough finances coming in enough. But for the big guys, let's make an exception.
Yeah. What do you think of the 3 communities that passed the road funding millages for their communities? You like that idea?
I'm not opposed to it.
No.
I think it's unfortunate that we're sitting there and backing the communities into a corner where they're having to come and ask the residents for more.
Yeah.
But they had a problem. They put it on the ballot. The residents said yes. To me, if the residents are saying it and they're asking for it and they're essentially asking to be taxed additionally, that's fine. To me, my points I try to talk about taxes all the time is every time I'll go to a resident and ask for, what do you think about this tax or that tax or what have you? If they know where it's going and it's being used in the way they were told it was going to be used.
Like the police and fire we had here.
Yeah, people don't mind.
No,
people
they don't mind that at all.
I'm paying for this road construction. It's going to fund roads. When we, as politicians, start taking a little off the top.
Yeah.
Or, perfect example, DIA. I pissed off so many people when I voted on the DIA change a year ago because when people passed that bill or approved the countywide millage for the DIA, they wanted that money to go to the DIA.
Right.
And then we find out that, the DIA managers or executive directors gave themselves a nice little pay increase.
Oh, no way.
Hefty pay increase.
Really?
And then we find out that, money that they thought was going to the DIA, our DDAs and our TIFAs and our other districts can skim a little bit of money off of the top.
Oh, boy.
And the residents said, absolutely not. I voted to have that money go to the DIA.
Yeah.
That was the impression I was under. And so I voted to say that DDAs, TIFAs, brownfields, all those other tax collecting entities cannot skim that money off the top.
Right,
if it's going for the DIA or,
it's
or
earmarked
what
for
have you.
that.
Right. They did not like it. They did not like it, and they were not happy with me.
Who didn't like it?
DDAs, TIFAs. Not anybody in Garden City.
Oh,
but in my own hometown, the TIFA was not happy about it because they wanted the money that they could collect into the TIFA. And it's always been that way. But the average person doesn't understand the intricacies of how those finance authorities work or how the taxation works, where the money goes, how the money goes. They went to him and said, this is a tax that we're going to levy for the DIA, period. That's
the voter knows.
That's where they want the money.
The voter knows.
Yeah.
The voter said, I wanted to go to the DIA.
Right. And so I said, they got sassy with me. They're really angry. I said, well, let's. You want to play this out in the public arena?
Yeah.
Let's do it because I guarantee you I'll win.
Yeah.
The residents said,
put them in a cage.
This is where I want the money to go. And so it doesn't matter. It could be a tax to say we're going to buy cheese pizzas for everybody in Garden City. If people knew that they were going to get the service that they were paying for, they'd be fine with it. But when you start skimming off the top and getting sneaky peeky and giving yourselves raises and stuff like that,
people don't go for that.
No. And then again, it cracks me up because then we sit there and say, we wonder why people don't trust government.
Yeah.
Or trust what we do.
There's a good example.
Yeah. It's not a difficult equation. The money comes in. These are what you have to do. The money goes out. Don't be greedy. Don't get shady. And do what you told people you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard.
What about, going back to roads, what about the alternatives to salt?
Sand.
Yeah, and I had
what's that going to do to your sewer system?
I had a meeting I told you about today, and Kevin Roney was there, and they've raised the price of salt, man.
Big time.
He's not happy.
Whatever alternatives we could look into.
He's thinking of
money.
I guess there's some kind of recipe for brine. You can use brine and mix it with the salt or something
I'm not familiar with that.
To make it last longer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was talking about that today.
I'm not familiar with it. I don't want to talk out.
But I know there was brine. They used to pre-treat roads with this chemical. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Certain roads they pre-treated with a brine.
Before our time.
Yeah, I guess. But there's got to be alternatives really to salt. Just to help save the roads, don't you think?
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But again, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm a chemist, and I couldn't tell you the chemistry of it, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to count on you either.
I trust the science.
I think there'd be something cheap there, but yeah, he's not happy with the price of salt, man. Wow. And that's all the communities. I mean, everybody, it's like, what, doubled or something or more.
It's like what happened with natural gas last winter. Doubling, tripling.
Jesus.
Bad news.
Yeah. Not
Especially
good.
when it's so cold outside.
Yeah.
Can you explain something on the new electric, the lighting that happened around Garden City?
With the new lights that they're putting up?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can
If
for that.
Yeah, you could, because you were there when it was approved.
They made a big mistake on our road.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I've lived on a
The LEDs, the street lights they're putting up?
18 years, and we've never had a street light down there.
Yeah.
And now we have a street light,
Uh-huh.
but the other end of the block
Yeah.
on the other side is black. They made a mistake and put it on our side, and they should have put it on the other side. And they said, "Oh well, it is what it is," and they just put it on our side.
Really? Who said, oh, well?
Because our street is all lit up from the dealership behind us.
Right, so you don't really need that.
It was a Kevin guy I spoke with,
Oh, Kevin Roney. Kevin Roney?
and he just said, "It is what it is."
Ooh, Kevin.
Because on the other side of our block, where all the kids are down there, it's all dark. And so they could have really used the street light down in the middle of the next block, not on the dead end where all the lights are from the dealership.
Okay, yeah.
They just
Yeah,
said,
makes sense.
It is what it is.
What they're doing is they're replacing the old lights with the more efficient ones as they can afford to do it. And part of it depends on what Detroit Edison says, we got so much money that you can use for this year. And hopefully if that continued, within 10 years they'd have them all replaced with the most efficient lights. They started with the ones that were the least efficient. So they're not doing it geographically by, we'll do this section and then this section and this.
Right.
And so they're trying to do what they can as fast as they can. But
I agree with replacing these streetlights that
Yeah,
were out there. But ours
more
is
efficient.
Ours is a brand new one. They had to put a pole.
You're more concerned with the placement of it.
Yeah, they put a new pole in and everything, ran a whole new line down to our end of our dead end street. The guy goes, "This makes no sense," and I said, "I agree." He says, "It was a mistake, but they didn't want to take it back and do it the other way."
You may want to come to a council meeting and bring that up, really, before the council, right?
Garden City's got a good council. So,
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
They'll listen. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a matter of placement, and there's no need for it there, maybe you can get it
It would
moved.
make a lot more sense to put it down where all the kids are, down where it's all black in the middle
Right,
of the block,
right, yeah.
the other direction.
Yeah,
Monday night.
yeah, Monday night. We'll be there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So what else we got?
That's all we got. That's all we got.
That's it.
We are back in session on December 3rd. I'm giving my going away speech on December 3rd. And then we're in
Kinda
session.
bittersweet.
It is bittersweet, but exciting.
But
and
moving
then
on
we're
to bigger and better things.
right. And then we'll be in for 3 weeks after that. And Lame Duck will come to an end
Yeah, hopefully.
with relatively little fanfare, I believe.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe.
I think so. Yeah. Okay.
Only thing I've seen controversial talked about was the reform of the electoral college.
Oh, yeah.
If that doesn't go through, then I would say this is a lot better lame duck than we had the last time.
Oh, it doesn't get much worse.
Yeah.
The governor has said that he thinks that electoral college change is a little too much.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so-
he also said
Yeah.
the same thing about right to work.
Touche.
too.
I did joke the other day that I hope he says roads isn't on his agenda because that means he'll get done. But we'll
But
see.
he did say that was one of the major things. He wanted to get some
Roads,
kind of road fund. But
roads. The governor said last week that roads is his first, second, third, fourth, and fifth priority.
Yeah.
In lame duck.
yeah.
Everything else is kind of secondary to him.
Well,
And so
be interesting.
the electoral college changes that they had hearings on. It's not to get on the soapbox, but it's another example of a bill that was quickly introduced. They held a couple sham hearings on it on days when we weren't in session, so people couldn't be there to attend it and stuff like that. I just think it's a little too extreme, and even the governor has signaled that he isn't high on it, and even Republican members of the committee, all the Democrats are opposed to it.
Oh, yeah.
But the Republican members on the committee, even some of them have issued statements saying that they just don't think it is the right thing to do. So I don't have a lot of faith for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully your instincts are right.
They've been wrong before, but we will see.
We don't talk about those.
We don't talk about it.
All right. Well, if that's all you got, that's all you got.
That's all I got.
We're an hour and 13 minutes into the show. Good show so far. I
Very
love
good
it.
show.
All right, well, let's wrap this up here. Don't forget, we're still looking for guests to have on the show, so if you're interested in coming on and sharing your story, or maybe you own a business or you provide a service you'd like to share with the surrounding communities, then now is the time to contact us so we can get you scheduled at gcommunitychat@gmail.com. Now, the City Council wanted me to remind you that the next council meeting is Monday, November 24th at 7 p.m. at City Hall. That's located at 6000 Middlebelt Road. The council urges all residents to attend. Let's do a GC Business Alliance update, David. How are we looking?
Everything's looking good. Oh, I got to turn that on.
Everything looking good?
Yeah,
on
everything's
our,
looking good.
On our
Paperwork's in.
501?
We're waiting on the paperwork back.
Awesome.
Got a little invitation going out to, what was it, 400 about businesses?
No, about 5.
About 500 businesses.
Yeah, about 500.
Right after Thanksgiving, about the holiday mixer. So
Yep.
hopefully we'll keep growing and we'll reap the benefits soon.
Yeah. I think we're doing well.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the right track.
Oh, yeah.
At least we're hearing that anyway. We also, I wanted to mention, have our secretary, Michelle Jarrett, and member Joe Bartley. They will be representing us in the Sandland Parade. They're going to be walking with our banner, so look for them.
November 29th.
November 29th. I'm going to let you handle that because.
I'm ready and willing.
And it was decided that, we will be doing a mass mailing to all the businesses in Garden City and inviting them to a holiday mixer for some light refreshments, holiday cheer, and that's going to be held December 12th at the Straight Farmhouse in the Grand Parlor at 6 p.m. There will be no meeting that night, but just an evening of conversation, socializing, and getting to know one another. So if you're a business in Garden City, look for your invitation near the end of the month, 1st of December, and we hope to see you there. You can also check out our Alliance website at gardencitybusinessalliance.org. Tim has a coupon on there. We have some online printable coupons that you can get, support the local businesses. You can also go to GCBiz, that's B-I-Z 48135 at .org. Very nice website that Rick Palmer has put together for us, and we appreciate all the work Rick has done. Remember, we will upload this show when it's made available to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. All right, Mike, I'm going to let you do some announcements.
Okay, I just have a few. You've already mentioned the next council meeting is Monday, and the Sandland Parade is November 29th, Saturday. Starts at, I believe, 10 o'clock, and from the high school goes down Ford Road, or Middlebelt to Ford Road, and then turns left and winds up with a quick turn into the Kroger parking lot where they used to have the farmers market at. I think it's Monday, December 1st is the Christmas tree lighting
Yep.
at the Commons.
Yep.
I believe that might be at 6 o'clock also.
Yeah, I think it is 6 or 7, something like that.
As far as the Kiwanis is concerned, we're going to be helping the Salvation Army by participating in bell ringing on Saturday, December 6th at both Kroger's and Kmart's. So,
You're also in the parade too, right?
yeah, I'm going to walk in the parade. Today at the meeting, they asked who wanted to use any of the 12 clown outfits that Linda and Bev had made. And so there are 4 or 5 of us that raise their hands and says, I'll be a clown. He says, you already are.
Okay.
And of course, the big event of the second half of the year for Kiwanis and Rotary is the Christmas party for approximately 115
Right.
third grade kids.
Yeah,
It'll
that's
be
a big
held
deal.
at Schoolcraft Land Center at 12 o'clock. We'll be setting up around 11, and we'll be wrapping the presents the week before
Yeah.
at Maplewood around at 6 o'clock or on December 4th.
Yeah, Cheryl will be
And
there.
if the weather is really bad on the 11th and school is canceled, then our makeup day is the 18th. But maybe once we've had to do that. Typically, it'll take place on that day. School will be in session. It'll be a real big event. I think the kids will appreciate it. The choir comes and sings Christmas songs. Santa's there to pass out large shopping bags of presents to all these 150 kids.
That's actually kids that the teachers have recommended, right? That
Right.
they feel is
Right. These are kids that have been identified by the teachers quite possibly aren't going to have that great a Christmas. Mm-hmm. their family is really struggling and so forth. And
Yeah.
it's probably this year might be tough to limit it to 115.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do some picking and choosing because there's a lot of people that are just scraping by. I saw the reports on the food bank over at Maplewood.
Yeah, Home Pantry.
Home Pantry, and how their demands are going up
Yeah.
for food. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of people in need.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Cougar Care Cafe, there was a bunch of turkeys donated by, I think, Gordon Chevrolet, and they were people lined up in sleeping bags waiting to get into
Really?
Henry Ruff to do
Wow.
pick up one of those turkeys and a bag
Wow.
of food. There's just a lot of need out there, and that Christmas party, you'd have to be pretty stoic to not have a tear in your eye to see all these kids and the great time they're having, and
Yeah.
how much they appreciate it and so forth. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, it makes you feel good. Speaking of kids, the Garden City Goodfellows, too, are going to be out and about.
Yeah.
They're going to be selling their newspapers Wednesday, November 26th, Friday, November 28th, and Saturday, November 29th. So if you can.
Volunteer on the 28th.
Yep.
That'll be my day.
Yeah. They're always looking for volunteers, so if you want to volunteer, give them a call at 734-679-7838.
You probably just show up at the was it the Moose Lodge
Yeah, I think it's Moose. Yep.
on Middle Belt there, and just walk in and say, hey, you need somebody to help sell papers, and they'll get you to a street corner with a bag of paper.
Yep. They're also going to be in the Santa Land Parade, and if you want to make monetary donations, you can mail it to Garden City Goodfellows, P.O. Box 2407. P.O. Box 2407, Garden City 48135.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, they put over 300 kids had a nice Christmas last year. That's
Their-
awesome.
Their model of
They do great.
No Child Without a Christmas
Yep.
is another one that set your heartstrings there.
Yeah.
If you can't get up for that, you need to take Scrooge lessons. Or
Yeah, drink some water.
Yeah. Flush all that.
We're going to be
bad
on
vibes
a
out of
water
your
kick
system.
now.
Oh, yeah.
I got to get me a water bottle. All right. I got a Facebook friend. His name is Frank Block.
I know
And
Frank.
You know Frank?
Oh, yeah. We are
Marine?
also Facebook friends.
And do you know about his family, his ancestors that donated the property that Berger School is on?
I know briefly of it. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't the street named after his family, too?
Yeah, Block Street. And he wanted me to let the listeners know that was his ancestors that donated that property that Berger School is on. Now, from what we know, Berger School is going to be closing.
It's moving.
It's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's closing there, but moving to Inkster.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wide program as is.
Right.
and what happens to that land is anybody's guess. That's to be continued because I think there's going to be some kind of a
where the school's at right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's Garden City Public Schools that administer the program. I'm not sure if it's Garden City that owns the property, if it's the county that owns the property,
well, from what
or the ISD rather.
What I am hearing is there was some stipulations about that property. It could only be used for certain things.
When his family gave it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to double check on the
I would too.
documents. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what we're hearing. So he kind of wanted me to just let people know about that.
The goal was to tear the school down and build.
It could only be used for a school or park, is what I heard, what I understood. Did you hear that too?
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know how accurate it is, but the original goal was that they were going to close it at Berger, move to the school in Inkster, and then the Berger school would be torn down and redeveloped as housing to get more tax base in the community.
Sure.
Some new houses.
That could be a problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. We may wanna check on
simple
that.
phone call.
Yeah.
Simple phone call.
Yeah. So there you go, Frank. I got it out there for you.
Hey, Frank.
It's a good guy, Frank.
Oh yeah,
All right. Well, if nobody else has any other business,
that's a wrap, man.
I think we're ready to call this a podcast. I want to thank everyone that participated in tonight's show. Special thanks to Tim Fredenburg, from the garage training facility.
He even stuck around the whole time.
Yes, he did.
I've never seen that happen before.
Now, look, if you want more information on the garage, give them a call at 734-658-9372, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you to Representative David Knezek for stopping by and keeping us informed. We always appreciate that.
Anytime.
Also, thanks to Mike Jones for stopping by and our resident weatherman, Doppler Tom Iwinski. And Joy and Holly, thank you for your gardening tips. And thanks to everyone who hung out in the chat room with us. We really appreciate it. Remember, for the latest weather, go to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's a great website. I don't know if you ever checked it out, but it's pretty cool, pretty informative. Also, if you have a show idea or a guest you'd like us to try and get on, just send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll do our best to provide that for you. Don't forget to join our mailing list, too, at the same email address. So we hope you all enjoyed tonight's show. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local business. Hey, Saturday, November 29th, Small Business Association.
Yes, sir.
And also, if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. Check out and subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/community chat show. So on behalf of Tim and David and Mike and Tom, this is Kerry. Thanks for listening. Don't forget, no show next Thursday. Everyone have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, and we will be right back. Yeah, drink all your water, plenty of water, and we'll be back December 4th, 8 p.m. on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757. Good night and take care.